we call every day in my phone.
Ja.
We call every day and not Ah, Berggeil! Servus, Berggeil! Ich hole mir irgendwas zu futtern, Komplex oder so. Ich bin gerade erst aufgestanden, Kacke. Weil ich werde um 14 Uhr, keine Ahnung, was aufgestanden. Ich hole mir mal kurz was zu essen. Komm hier, Pip. Nein, mein Hund ist da, der hat gerade geschlafen. Junge, ich bin schon halb auf der Kippe. Ich habe keine vernünftige Waffe. Blaue SMG. Ja, ich komme, ich bin schuldig. Aber eins. Warte, hier will noch einer. Hab noch einen. Warte. Er hat eine blaue Tape. Egal, sorry. take nur den Plan, die hat. Ja, ich take nur den Wasteland. Ja. Alle diese Kandidaten dumm. Ja, alle Kandidaten sind so lost. Alle sind so lost, weil ich einfach nur alle verarsche. Hallo? Hast du das gehört? War nur Spaß. Ich habe extra so gemacht. Ich schwöre, das war nur Spaß. Wenn das ja kein Spaß wäre, dann hätte ich auch nicht die Gruppe erstellt, ne? Okay. Bei mir auch. Ja. Okay, YOLO. Hab dich abonniert und geliked. Jetzt hast du 202 Abos. Kann ich gerne mal versuchen, oder? Mhm. 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 Können wir mal machen, Jolo? Nice. Och, das brauchst du nicht. Also, danke. Wallabi da, die wollten Stress. Was noch nicht? Mhm. Nein. Lehrgang. Das sind, Moin. Ach, Larry, du Ehrenmann. Ey, wir müssen Ton. Nein, das ist ein Feuerwürmchen. Das Fliegen ist gerade bei mir. Nein, also ich schaff's noch. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Bei die Gegner? Ach so, ja. Ich kann auch hier. Und beim Gegner, oh mein Gott, ich wurde gelasert. Und die Kassofelder. Er fängt es an zu können und ich.
übertreib nicht. Die Karren übertreibt nicht. Junge, die haben die größten Laser. Hilfe! Wer Rocket Launcher? Ich nicht mehr, ich nehme dann nach. Hier kann man tanken. Nein. Bam. Okay. Gegner. Mach bereit, ich gehe einmal auf Klo. Du weißt genau, du kriegst sowas zu abstauben, ne, Fitzi?
Ja, klar.
Ist die okay? Ja, wir zocken halt, Larry. Ja, wir zocken. Warte, kriegst du nicht, du gehst nach. Ha! Dann tritt sie so. Staubsauger ist auch am Start. Ja, ist immer am Start. Ey, Larry. Ich habe mir vor 2 Tagen einen neuen Controller gekauft, Junge. Ich kann ja gleich. Guck mal, siehst du mein Aim? Siehst du mein Aim, Larry? Komm mal. Er hat beide. Okay. Verpiss dich, Lan! Renn um dein Leben. Schlaues Kind. Oh, Junge, ich brenne. Nein, nein, nicht pushen, nicht pushen. Ich hab grad die Welt. Oh, fuck. Uktu, hast du auch Rette die Welt? Also ich habe Rette die Welt, er nicht. Okay. Ja, lass mal traden. Larry. Hau. Samu? Ach ja, Instinkt Samu. Ah ja, Samu, du wolltest dich ja auch noch für den Zahn wärmen, ne? Ja, können wir machen gleich. Ja, wo ist ein Bild? Schön. Ja, nicht hier in meine Chat wird nur Deutsch gesprochen. Kennt ihr diesen Typen? Ja, warte, Epic steht oben links. Was sind 2 Unterstriche? Twitch Unterstrich orange 20. Ja, das ist mein Epic, ja. Larry ist beigetreten. Lass mal das Spielchat bitte. Larry!
Hallo.
Hi. Wie geht's?
Gut.
Larry, du spielst über PS4, ne?
Ja, ich bin auf der PS4.
Warte mal, warte mal einmal. Ich mach einmal die Party größer, dass ich dich einladen kann. Spieler. Warte jetzt schnell hier. Ja, warte, chill. Okay. Larry, kannst du einmal beitreten, Party?
Ich komme jetzt rein.
Okay. Nice. Ja.
Staubsauger, Alter. Es ist lauter als keine Ahnung, nein.
Ich weiß.
Ich bin voll ruhig, also, ja.
Ja, Samu, hast du Twitch groß geschrieben und 2 Unterstriche gemacht? Die Unterstriche müssen zusammen sein. Also Twitch groß, 2 Unterstriche zusammen, orange klein, 28. Und was liegst du dich mit dem Hai anladen? Okay. Ja, schreibt dann. Hier ist noch einer. Habibi, wie geht's, Habibi? Weiß. Mythischer. Hä? Mythischer Hai bei mir. La, komm her!
Schnell, er haut
Ey,
aus.
Lan!
Run. Ich hab einfach Gott am Ball. Der arme Hai.
Sie müssen leider sterben, Herr Hai.
Was hat er denn dabei?
Der war
Ja, geil.
Also so als nur so. Der ist wieder abgehauen. Boot. Oh. Ja, aber wir haben gerade keine Zeit zu lernen.
Man kann sie auch abbauen.
Wallah, lass unsere Haie in Ruhe.
Sollen
Das
wir
noch einer?
kreativ oder so spielen?
Ja, können wir. Du wirst das Schafe kaputt machen.
Jump kaputt. Nein! Scheiße. Er ist leider er kam in deine Fresse gezogen.
Hab ihn.
Aber.
Ja, schade.
That's a lot of damage.
Schade.
Schade.
Lobby. Kreativ. Ja, kreativ. Ich adde dich Samu sofort. Anfrage ist raus.
Ich nehme einen anderen Skin. Das ist mein Place, ist mein YouTube-Skin.
Okay. Samu, bist du das?
Okay, komm, ich komme ich nehme doch den Skin. Was heißt im Spiel, Schätze?
Aber von mir ist es kein Freund.
Der von mir auch nicht eigentlich, oder? Nein, ist er nicht.
Nein. Sam, bist du das? Ich geh einmal kurz ins Chat. Hallo?
Hallo.
Bist du Samu?
Ja.
Okay.
Ich bin nicht so gut.
Okay. Samu, aber lass.
Dann wir.
Hallo? Hallo? What the fuck? mal Party-Chat.
Ah, Digga. Was ist das?
Twitch, also. Hallo. Ach du Scheiße, Winkelklicks. Alter, was ist das? Ja, bla bla bla.
Hallo?
Ja, hallo.
Ja, hallo.
Ja, hallo.
Hallo?
Hi.
Soweit machen wir Red vs. Blue oder Behame? Komm.
Also, hast du mein Video gesehen?
Behame?
Ja, hab ich gesehen. Samu.
Okay, komm.
Ja.
Ich hab's gesehen.
Hallo, hier ist Behame.
Nicht so gut.
Hier.
Lass doch Behame. Besser.
Box PvP.
Ja, ich bin voll Fenster reingegangen. Geil. Komm, lass einfach reingehen. Hier. Ja, Mann. Alter, ich geh wieder Party-Chat, mein Ohren sind schon kaputt. Allah.
Digga,
Ja.
was ist... Was? Warum schießt er?
Lass einfach irgendwelche Waffen nehmen.
Welche hast du? Digga, hör doch auf zu schießen da oben. Digga. Hör doch auf. Digga, wie schlecht ist er? Ich hab keinen Bock mehr mit dem.
Warte mal einmal,
Ich bammel den Außenblick. Wie soll man aufhören?
Ja, warte. Hallo, Dingsabums, der No-Skin-Typ, wie heißt nochmal? Keine Ahnung. Utku. Hör mal auf, ihn anzuschießen. Hör mal, Stace, Samu, aufhören anzuschießen. Ja, aber ich edit ihn. Nein, ohne. Warte, aber mich jetzt einmal nicht killen, mich einmal jetzt nicht killen. Ey, Samu, heißt du genauso auf PS4, also normal? Ey, Samu, wie heißt du auf PS4, also PS4-Freund?
Aim und Stace.
Okay.
Digga.
Habt ihr FA geschickt? Komm, Party. Over. Wo schreit denn?
Warte, bis er sich bewegt, weil ich denke, er ist AFK.
Kommst du Party?
Ja.
Ja, ich lade dich ein. Ich lade dich schon ein. Ich hab dich auch noch eingeladen. Okay.
Habe ich einen Schuss getroffen? Nö. Ich werde von überall gelasert. Ne, weißt du, ich mache alle gegen alle, egal wen ich echt will zu tun. So, das war's mit ihm. Ich hab gesagt, das war's mit ihm. Ah ja. So. Nein. Wo bist du? Okay. Beruhig dich. Ja, geil. Ich bin auf dem Tresor, Junge. Und ich habe jeden Schuss verfehlt. Nein. Egal, bin noch Zweiter. Komm, mit dem! Mit dem hab ich so gutes Aim gehabt und ich hab dich nicht geholt. Nein! Wie viel Leben hat das? 1 HP?
Ein Controller-Play oder was?
Ja. Er ist low, er ist low. Ich muss. Das ist ein Muss, das ich ihn holen muss.
Ich bin da. Nein!
Nee, ich hol dich. So einfach haben wir es geregelt. Wo ist der andere? Der wird jetzt ermordet von mir.
Nee, von mir.
Nein, er ermordet mich. Ja, er ermordet mich. Ja, ist tot.
Digga, das war ja nicht mal krass. Du hast mit
Das
der
war aber
Pump
No-Scope.
geschossen. Du hast mit der Pump geschossen, bist du dumm?
Ja, und jetzt?
Ja, das ist kein No-Scope.
Nein!
Oh no. Was war das für ein Hit?
125er.
Tschüss.
Tschüss,
Ich
Mann.
mach wieder Neustart. Überall ist sowieso gebaut.
Ja, jetzt Switch Orange wieder zurück. Ey, dann lasert mich der.
Der No-Scope. Nein! Nein! Ich meine.
Ich hab keine Chance, er wird mir abge... Ja, schon hat er mir den abgestoppt. Danke, danke.
Bitte.
Ey, reicht so.
Ja, ich steck irgendwo fest, alle.
Ey, ohne Grappler. Warum steht bei mir, dass Joel ein Kill hat? Warum steht das bei mir so? Oder hat er einen Kill eigentlich?
Er hat glaube ich einen Kill. Das war knapp.
Nein, nein, nein. Hallo, mich?
Er ist auf der anderen Seite. Hä? Wo ist das? Ah, der ist hier. Ja.
Nein. Mein Gott, ich muss alles nachladen. Ich muss so am Arsch. Okay, jetzt nicht mehr.
So, den leider. Oh, der hat mich so outplayed. Nein, 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 komm. Nein, fuck. Mann.
Ich weiß, ich werde nicht umgebracht. Einer von uns. Ey, Hans, sag mal Tschüss für dein Leben, weil ich bin hinter dir.
Nicht
Ey,
heute.
wenn jemand meinen Kill klaut, ist der ehrenlos.
Oder du sagst Tschüss, Junge.
Alter, wie lost war ich gerade? Ich sollte nicht so losreden.
Oh shit, was passiert jetzt? Nein, die Pumpe hat dich geschossen. Die Pumpe hat dich. Nee, ich pickaxe dich jetzt. Ich bin gepickaxe.
Und so ein Sprayer bist du, ich hasse. Kann man so schlecht sein, wirklich.
Heutzutage Fortnite, so spielt man.
Ey, nein! Ich hasse das Game.
Fuck. Nein.
Wie kann man nur so im Highground kämpfen?
Ja, ich bin low. Falls du sehen
Ja,
kannst.
aber du machst es die ganze Zeit, Buster. Ja, nicht auch, nicht Buster, Digga, nicht.
Ja, geil, ja, 55er Headshot, genau. Pumpgun, Epic Games. Danke für eure Unterstützung.
No!
Shit on! Alle gut.
Oh, Free Kill. Alter, was passiert hier? What the fuck?
Ja, er wurde voll geheilt.
Ja, was tust
Ja.
du denn?
Aim Says oder wie du nochmal heißt, oder wie du heißt. Auf was spielst du?
Auf Toaster.
Oha. Das ist schon klar, dass du das so gut bist. Ey, Hans, sag mal Tschüss.
Ich bin schon, ja, ich war schon tot.
2 Free Kills, soll ich mal?
Digga, er ist so einer, der einfach die Free Kills holt.
Egal, bin immer noch erster Platz, wenigstens.
Scheiße. Wir machen jetzt alle auf Hamsi. Sorry. Hamsi.
Fast alle gegen mich. Was hast du gesagt?
Abstauber.
Und wir sind alle die rote Schwester.
Ey, ich check Bahnhof.
Digga, wie können sie denn nur so oft nicht halten? So ein kleiner
Ja,
Ich sag mal,
Geschichte.
das Leben wollte ich gerade sagen. Ich bin immer noch erster Platz. Bitte, bring ihn auf, bring ihn auf.
ja. Headshot, ja.
Ey, red nicht so viel, sonst stirbst du.
Ja.
What?
Was hast du?
Ich schwöre auf Gott, du hast bei mir geflogen. Ich schwöre auf Gott. Wieder mal Ping ist am Start bei mir. Ha, diese Noob hat verlassen.
Ha, habt ihr noch geholt? Lass mich nachladen.
Immer noch
Lass mich.
sein Stream, glaube ich, weiter.
Ich will nach. Ich möchte nachladen.
Eigentlich von wem kommst du, Hans?
Was war jetzt von wem?
Also von wem bist du in diese Gruppe beigetreten?
Ja, wegen Twitch, hä?
Ach so. Kann ich eine FA schicken?
Ja, kannst du, wenn ich diesen Typ mir geholt habe. So, kannst machen.
Okay. Weil du bist der größte Ehrenmann, deswegen.
Mhm.
Und natürlich Twitch auch. Also er hat mich ja in seine Gruppe reingemacht hat, deswegen. Danke.
So.
Jemand war wieder Freaker schon.
Holst auf. Scheiße. Es steht 23, das ist sehr scheiße gerade für mich.
Ja, super blöd, Alter. Wer zu wem? Bitte chillt mal. Ich muss nachladen. Ey, wie du um dein Fortnite schwitzt, Digga. Hopp, ist genommen. Hab nur 101 HP. What the fuck?
Alter. Ey. Ich muss nachladen, ich hab nicht geholt.
Ey, soll ich mal Hack anmachen?
Ja, mach das.
Okay, mich nicht umbringen.
Ich bin gespannt, was du für Hacks hast. Ja, hat der Free Kills geholt.
Ich hab noch nicht meinen Hacker.
Mach keine Free Kills, danke. Er macht aber die Free
Ganz
Kills.
kurz, mich nicht umbringen, nicht umbringen, nicht umbringen, nicht umbringen, nicht umbringen. Wenn man mich umbringt, ist man ehrenlos. Man ist Ehrenmann. Ich war nur AFK.
Habe ich versteckt.
DTF, Alter, wo bist du?
Eben versteckt.
Guck mal, wie kritisch ich hab.
Krass. Bin da.
What the fuck? Oh, der kam.
Ja, schau, hier, ich hab einen Free Kill gemacht.
Lass Baufight, hör auf, hör auf, hör auf. Lass Baufight, geh vor mir.
Ich warte. So.
3, 2, 1, go.
War nicht mal ready, aber.
Sorry. Du bist aber immer ready, denke ich. Fragen für dich.
Ja, was hast du denn noch für Fragen?
Was
Rapper
ist
ist
dein
verboten.
Lieblingssänger? Oder, ja, wer ist dein Lieblingsmusik?
Kapital eigentlich. Und.
So.
Nee, nicht unbedingt. Das Einzige, was an ihm speziell ist, einfach nur Musik, aber... Schieß, aha, ich glaube, Orange ist wieder da.
Er hat letztens sein Mikrofon kaputt geschlagen.
Keine Ahnung.
Digga, spray doch mal nicht.
Er kommt schon Flinte.
Ja, aber das ist doch unfair, ist doch komplett.
Ich gehe mal in den Tresorraum rein, damit ich schauen kann, was da überhaupt ist. Hä?
Ohne komplett. Es bringt mich um. Alle diese komische Komplett-Fans oder was? Mach mal dein Combat weg, bitte. Nein, 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 nein. Warum alle auf mich? Ich habe ein HPPP. Tschüss, euer Leben. Ich habe meine Leben. Was laber ich für eine Scheiße? Spielpause, nicht umbringen. Wartet mal, hört auf. Nicht umbringen.
Ich möchte den kurz umbringen.
Nicht umbringen, hört auf, bitte. Kommt mal ganz kurz zu mir, kommt mal zu mir. Nicht abknallen.
Warte.
Kommt. Also, Ding, Joel, wenn du mich hörst, spring. Kannst du bitte dein komplett schmeißen und ein anderes Pumpgun nehmen?
Was?
Heute 31er, Digga. Und ohne Grappler, bitte.
Okay, das ist was sehr Schlimmes gewesen, was ich gerade gemacht habe.
Sehr lustig, oder? Nicht umbringen! Chill doch! Ich muss ganz kurz meinen Blocken nehmen. Wer mich umbringt, ich block ihn. Ich block ihn. Jetzt können wir noch mal machen. Weil ich habe meine Waffen genommen und ihr habt mich abgeschossen. Ohne Grappler.
Ah, ich benutze nicht.
Ja, ich hab halt Grappler.
Er benutzt Kampfschrotflinte, was bist du für ein 31er?
Ja, kein Bock mehr auf den Leben.
So, wenn du so spielst, dann kann ich auch gerne mit einer anderen Lieblingswahl spielen, die eigentlich lange nicht mehr im Spiel war und die eigentlich sehr unbekannt ist. Ja, ich kann sie nicht nehmen, weil er es mir verhindert.
Guck mal, ich bin Hacker. Guck mal zu mir, aber nicht umbringen.
Ich suche.
Komm mal zu mir. Hier bin ich. Ich baue. Guck mich an. Nicht abschießen. Wer abschießt, ist ehrenlos. Guck mich mal an.
Ja.
Kommt hier bin ich. Guckt hier. Seht ihr mich? Ja. Guckt, ich bin Hacker.
Ich soll zu Hacker sein, ich check's immer noch nicht.
Guck, ich spring hier runter und ohne zu bauen. Ich spring einfach runter. Spring einfach mal runter. Guck. Oder? Oh Scheiße. Er ist kaputt.
Ja. Nee, weißt du was, ich nehme. Nee, weißt du was, ich nehme jetzt Bogenbogen.
Nein, ohne Bogenbogen.
Oder Kampfstoffflinte.
Ja, Kampfstoffflinte kannst du.
So.
Mach mal diese gebaute Sachen weg. Drück auf Build. Ohne Bogenbogen.
Mach die Kampfstoffflinte weg, ich will sie nicht, ich will sie nicht.
Okay, wenn ich sterbe.
Okay.
Wenn ich einmal sterbe, dann. Okay,
Jetzt bist du gestorben.
Okay, ich bin gestorben. Ich schmeiß jetzt mein Combat. Ich hab 45 Kills, oh mein Gott.
Er nimmt die Combat.
Ohne Combat. Ab jetzt. Combat ist jetzt in unserem Kopf fertig. Ohne Combat. Ohne Combat.
Ich weiß, das haben nachher Rette die Welt spielen. Twitch, kannst du reden?
Er hat keinen Bock mehr.
Alter.
Oh mein Gott, das ist so getrickt, Alter. Ja, ohne Combat. Ja, ohne Combat, Alter, bitte.
Oh.
Hört auf. Hört nicht auf.
Alter.
Ich bin ehrenlos, gell?
Nein, weißt du? Ich bin glaub gleich Rette die Welt.
Oh. Er hat uns aber rasiert. Macht eigentlich ja noch live. Er ist immer noch beim Live.
Redet er dort?
Warte, ich habe gerade mein Handy beim Akku, deswegen kann ich nicht schauen. Aber gleich die hoch kann ich die holen. Nein! Applaus! Oh!
Komm, ich hol dich noch. Ja, hol dich. Es hat dich geschossen. Es hat dich geschossen. Was ist das für eine Pumpgun?
Nein!
Stefan, nein!
Stefan, danke! Stefan, nein!
Schon habe ich dich, Junge. Von hinten.
Nein! Stefan, nein! Mach's nochmal, bitte.
Junge, ich schwör, ich habe langsam keine Lust mehr. Der andere spielt wie keine Ahnung.
Ich bin der Hacker, deswegen, weißt du? Ich muss meinen Hacker anschalten.
Ja, das soll runterfallen.
Nett mich mal.
Was denken Sie von dem Stream? Allah Akbar.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Was?
الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. أشهد أن الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Nein, Steffen, nein. Steffen, halt die Fresse. Araber!
Scheiße, hab mein Knie geschlagen.
Wer? Also ich! Ja.
Danke. Gott, hallo Psychiater, ich brauche deine Hilfe.
Oh, mein Ohr! Mein...
Nee, lass mich so rumlachen. Oh mein Gott! It's a renegade rider! It's a renegade rider! It's a renegade rider! Okay, finish! All goes up for the finish! Abstauben.
Habe Waffen. Ich mache pa pa pa.
Ich habe gerade gegen mein Bett geklopft. It's a renegade rider! Fuck! Nein! Ey, meine Pump schießt manchmal nicht. Ey, es schießt nicht! Nein, ich kotze auf die Pump. It's a renegade rider! No, it's an Austin! Komm. Ey, die Pump ist scheiße. It's a renegade rider! I'll go to the finish line, so. Was schaust du jetzt so komisch an? Hast du gewusst, sein Bauch die ganze Zeit immer. Okay. Epic Games, danke für die Unterstützung. Nein.
Junge, wer will Aim Battle gegen mich, ne? Du auf jeden Fall nicht. Und du, was mit dir, kleiner Frechdachs? Möchtest du AR ein Battle gleich gegen mich haben? Ich dich auch. Halt die Fresse. Halt die Fresse. Junge, ich hol dich noch ein kleiner No-Skin.
Ich schwöre, ich werde nur noch mit der Pumpe.
Du willst AR beenden? AR beenden?
Ja, und dann baust du.
Ach, okay. Junge, wer will gegen mich AR aim, bitte? Sag ich was? Okay, komm.
Das war so knapp.
Ach, Junge, du bist so dumm. I'm a renegade. Habt ihr TikTok?
TikTok.
I'm a renegade. Ja. I'm a renegade. Renegade. Willst du unbedingt AR ein Battle? Du willst AR ein Battle wieder? Ja? 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 Du kleiner Abstauber. Kleiner Spacki, okay. Du bist ein kleiner... Nee, ich tu nur so. Junge, wer lacht darüber? Hochgenommen. Ich wurde hochgenommen. Junge, und ich hab dich weggenommen.
Wenn du jetzt nicht holst, dann bist du einfach nur komplett scheiße. Ich hab dich geholt. Und ich hab dich auch geholt.
Was? Okay, jetzt stehe ich. Jetzt stehe ich. Antwortet ab. Hab mein Hex aktiviert. Oh, I'm a renegade. Okay.
Ja, dann schieße ich direkt ab, so.
Meine Hexen ausgewiesen. Jetzt muss ich meine Cola trinken, eine Schlucke, dann habe ich gute Hex. Ich habe jetzt meine Cola genommen und jetzt kriegt ihr alles Stress mit Telex. Nur Babs, wirklich. Wasser. Du bist so dumm. In welcher Stadt lebst du?
In der Milchstraße, nein, Spaß.
Sag mal, welche Stadt du lebst.
In Syrien, alles klar, Digga.
Junge.
Komm. Nein, ich weiß, wo er lebt. Ich weiß, wo er lebt.
Sehr gut,
Cola
in
mit
Köln.
Wasser, da lebt er. Die Stadt, er wohnt in Cola mit Wasser.
Seit der
wohnt
wohnt so in Köln.
Soll ich den Headshot verpassen?
Soll ich dir dein
den
Leben nehmen?
198 gegeben. Hab den 198 gegeben.
Komm, meins gegen eins ist schön. Unfair, 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 unfair. Er hat Freiheit.
Komm.
Er hat klappt. Diese Scheiß losgehen.
Ich werde dich pickaxen, Mann.
Oh, lass mich. Nein! Losgehen! Losgehen! Wo wohnst du jetzt? In welcher Stadt? Junge, laber keine Scheiße.
Ich kenn den auch nicht.
Was ist deine Hauptstadt? Nur safe wohnst du in Köln.
Wohnst du überhaupt in Deutschland? Ne?
Was
Vielleicht
ist deine
wohnst du auch in Los
Eltern?
Angeles, kann auch sein. Ja.
Meine
Safe.
Liebe, ein weiß,
Ja, dank. Sie haben es geschafft.
Er Internet? Komm her! Komm her! Klepp! Okay, komm! Nur ich bin der beste No-Scoper. Wo ist diese Kaka-Jagdwehr? Wo ist diese Kaka-Jagdwehr?
Ich werde verarscht dich. Hey, Lamm, Surullah.
Ist was mit dir schief gelaufen, Ei Bismillah? Du Dummkopf. Nein, wenn du wieder...
Ich war erster Platz. Nein, Spaß.
Komm her, ich klepp dich! Er hat dich komplett hochgenommen. Komm, Larry! Was, du bist der beste No-Scoper? Na klar darf man das. Ich könnte dein Vater sein.
Kleiner Pisser, der Schatz.
Weißt du, wer ich bin?
Ja.
Don't fix me. Genauso Hund. Ohne Halt, du Fischkopf. Ohne Halt, du Eierkopf mit Sahne.
Ich sag dir gleich eins, ein Pump ins Gesicht kriegst du gleich, ne?
Junge, komm her, du kleiner Hund.
Okay, hier.
Ja, komm her. Ja, komm her. Da
Okay.
ist der erste. Schon peinlich. Halt mal deinen Mund. Ja, lass ihn. Oder hast du Angst, dass du geklappt wirst?
Und kurz weg.
Trickle! Ei, Bismillah, was willst du, Mädchen? Deine Mama! Dein Ehering wurde gerade entwendet, nach Afrika gespendet, in der Pfanne gewendet, als Kondom verwendet, in der Sonne geblendet und weitergesendet. Ehre entwendet in der Pfanne gewendet. Von ihnen. Okay. OP wird gestartet. Ich bin der Beste. Ey, Spawn-trap ihn, dann kriegst du unendlich Pilz. Halt. Okay, Zeit mal. Ja, Zeit. War krass. Das sag ich meiner Mama. Du kleiner Papi. Alles gut bei mir. Junge, du hast mich aus 3 Meter erledigt. Und ich habe dich aus 18. 15. Ja, komm runter, da kriegst du Abstand. Hochgenommen. Hab ja aufgekommen. Komm. Halt dein Schnauz. Deine Mama hat jeden Tag zum Einschlafen. Junge, soll ich dich jetzt wieder komplett hochnehmen? Was ist denn Easy Blatt? Was willst du? Was ist denn Easy? Mach doch. Halt dein Schnauze, Bayer! Ja. Bevor du ihn noch mal umbringst, töte ich dich. Okay, mach das. Was machst du da? Musstest du nicht AFK, oder? Und du kleiner Hund, lass mein Larry in Ruhe. Okay. Okay, lerne ich. Mein Kämpfer. Ja. Okay, merk. Okay, merk ich mir. Nein. dumm. Ja. Nein. Switch. Spaß, Junge. Xbox. Xbox. Nein. Also du. Ist doch auf. Ich zock auf PS4 durch. Außer Ehre. Bruh. Oh fuck it. So los. Du kleiner Hund, Digga. Du bist so ein kleiner Hund. Hundesohn. Hundesohn. Und gleichzeitig. Junge, ich bin Fischsohn. Und du bist Karottensohn. Du bist Schlammsohn. Sohn. Junge, dich hat man von Teddy gekauft. Nö. Dich hat man auf Teddy-Seite gekauft. Guck, wie billig du bist. Dann siehst du, wie billig du bist. Und du bist am Rachoim Sohn. Gewonnen. Weil es dann, da stand bei mir, okay, Otto ist kaputt gegangen bei Wish. Auch bei Teddy. Okay, Ware. Machen wir auch. Ich bin so. Ja. Soll ich eine No-Scope-Map anmachen oder was? Soll ich eine Map dafür anmachen oder was? Ja, Tamuka. Oh mein Gott, das ist jetzt so hart. Na, Junge, ich hab dich. Ja? Ja, na klar. Ja, Junge, ich bin los. Aber es guckt keiner zu. Ha! Du bist Müll. Ich will nie wieder mit dir spielen. Ciao. Ey, was kommt? Epic Games, Link, Stable, bei einer Community mit den Spielerserver. Oh fuck! Epic Games hat mich gefunden! Deswegen müssen wir aufgehen. Okay, aber weißt du was? Der pisst sich auf meine Scheißlobby. So, wir spielen Iquimax sagt. Okay, sollen wir Skin Contest machen? Habiba. Und so. Oder sollen wir Scrims? Wir machen Scrims. Hoffe ich. Ist das Moskau-Map? Das ist keine Moskau-Map. Die schauen was. Die schauen.
Zurück. Ja, ich war nicht mitflog.
Alhamdulillah.
Nein.
Ahmed. Ahmed Hamdulillah. Und du heißt Hamdulillah, ne? Dulli. Du heißt Dulli, Abi, ne? Junge! Hat Tour auf eurem... Doch! Ich schreie! Partout, ich verlasse den Netz gleich. Eat my short. Ess meine Short. Was steht bei dir bei diesem Renegade Raider Typ? Und da steht du, ich bin dein Vater. Ja.
Was war das heute?
Ja, du vor 5 Jahren.
Das ist eine Ente.
Soll ich Ente machen?
Ja. Hallo, Surullah.
Lass diese Kind ein Bismillah oder ich schlage dich kaputt, Habibi. Bitte helfen Sie mir. Bitte helfen Sie mir, ich bin in Gefahr. Lassen Sie den No-Scope in Ruhe. Wer ist Ramusi Salat? Okay. Bismillah, was ist dein Problem, Bismillah? Sag, was dein Problem ist. Du willst kleinste Zone? Okay, dann komm kleinste Zone, Habibi. Habiba. Nur Whisky und Shisha. Meine Liebe für dich nie wieder. Habiba. Deine Kopf für mich immer wieder.
Okay, ich muss jetzt auf.
Ei, Bismillah, rede nicht so scheiße, Blatt. 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 Blatter Mutter. Blatt. 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 Ja, komm als Gege, als du Hund. Ja, nicht getroffen, schnapp zu soffen, Rudi. Halt dein Kopf. Nee. Schaulim. Du bist behindert. Oh, Karma. Du Schnecke, wie geht's? Als ob du oft musst. Nein, du bist nicht auf Plan. Dilla, du gehst nicht auf Plan. Hemdilla, du gehst nicht auf. Okay. Ich stelle mir auch was vor. Ah, jetzt habe ich dich gedeckt, ne? Ja! Ich werde rasiert! Deine Arschhaare werden rasiert! Oh Leute! Der war ja komplett schräg. So. Stacy. Was ist das? Es geht raus, da ist immer Chili. Ich bin immer busy. Money. So, ich mir was aus dem Shop holen, Leute. Was ist das echt holen? Ja. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, Habibi. Kann weg. Okay, Habibi, dann kommt morgen zurück, aber startet. Testen wir das doch, Habibi. Habiba, ne bist gern sicher, mein Liebe, bitte, Habiba, nur deine Liebe für mich nie wieder, Habiba. Und dann das Event with the people. Fuck, geht diese Kakao. So. Habiba, meine Liebe für dich nie wieder. Ganz gechillt, kein Stress. Hängen mit Freunden ab. Die Party hat gerade erst begonnen. I have a baby. I'm a gonna son of a night to the floor. Hey, just a policeman. I'ma do you trouble. I'm gonna fear it out to the floor. It was a policeman. Am I to my trouble? I'm gonna fear it out to the floor. Habiba, Habiba, nur Whisky und Shisha. Meine Liebe für dich nie wieder. Habiba, Habiba, nur Whisky und Shisha. Habiba, Habiba. Rap. Fick. Du got me Tata, du got me Dada, you got me Dada. Hab ich! Passiert was? Enemy! Willkommen! Habiba, Habiba. Habiba. In Hong Kong, Also geht's um 17 Uhr, 18 Uhr los. Habiba, Habiba. Also schnell Body holen, ganz schnell. Oder schnell mit bevor die ganz schnell. Vielleicht trinke ich mehr als einen Schluck, Baby. Baby, bin ich da. Baby. Oh, mein Controller passiert. So, pack, pack, pack. Oh! 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 Ich mach mein Headset aus.
Take an honest assessment of where we are. And I don't mean just looking at your campaigns. And so we have to push ourselves to go further. And so that's part of step one is taking inventory. Step two, take ownership, acknowledging where you need to change, where you need to do better. And then the third step is take action. Do better. Commit to being a part of solutions that are going to move us from where we are to a better, more equitable future.
So, for example, Sephora said they're going to give 15% of their shelf space to Black-owned brands. Now, I think, to me, that's a lot. I mean, does that strike you as too much, too little? I mean, what is that when you talk about taking action? Is that the kind of action, or what kind of action might really meet the moment?
Is there something I can do with my contacts, with my experience, with my skill set? What can I uniquely do? I hope everyone's asking themselves that question. And one of my very close friends, Aurora James, and I were having a conversation when all the protests were kicking off about what we want to see from companies, because we were starting to see all the we stand with the Black community and Black Lives Matter was starting to come from companies that we're just like, how in the world is this by this corporation when they have 0 Black people in their executive leadership team? Something's not adding up. And so what we sat there and we thought about, what is our ask to brands? So Aurora James, who is my dear friend, and she is a Black business owner. She's a successful accessories designer. She and I spoke, and she decided that she was going to say, I want to start something. And this is the kind of the origin story for what became the 15% pledge. And now the 15% pledge, which Aurora James founded, and I'm working with her on, it's saying to corporations, specifically big box retailers, you need to go beyond making a statement to stand in solidarity with the Black community. You need to go beyond even a one-time donation. What we are asking for is 15% of your shelf space to be dedicated to supporting Black businesses, Black-owned businesses. That is a big ask. And the reason we decided 15% is because 15% of the population, nearly 15% of the population is Black. So let's see ourselves represented equally on your shelves. And it has been 3 weeks, and this thing has already exploded. It has gotten so much momentum, which is so exciting to see. Listen, I hope that we can empower Black business owners, because they are the most impacted during the coronavirus. And for anybody who's watching and wants to get involved with the 15% pledge, I really encourage you to go to the website 15percentpledge.org and sign the petition. So help us keep the pressure on these companies to continue to fuel money, to put money back into the Black community. And if all 4 of these retailers that we're targeting take this pledge, this will mean over $14 billion being funneled back into the Black community. So it is a really big mission, and we're really excited about the impact that we can make if we all come together and push brands to do the right thing right now.
Well, listen, I also want to thank you for what you're doing. I want to thank you for what you've been an educator, you've been an inspirer. Now you're somebody who's actually pioneering a pathway forward. You got a commitment from these corporations because you have a commitment in yourself to change. And I hope other people take inspiration from you. Thank you so much for being here. We're behind you 100%. 100%.
Thank you, fan. I appreciate you, and you too. I'm such a fan of the work that you do. You're such an important voice, and I'm a fan. I keep doing what you're doing too. This is an honor to be interviewed by you, so thank you.
Hip hop is a universal sound, but it does a lot more than just entertain. Hip hop educates. Hip hop motivates. It's the voice of a generation, and every generation finds a voice in hip hop. And this new generation is no different. Atlanta artist Lil Baby has really stepped up to the plate. He's got a new song he penned in the middle of all this. It's called The Bigger Picture, and he put some visuals to it. Check out the video.
They training officers, the killers, then shooting protesters with these rubber bullets. They regular people, I know that they feel us. These scars too deep, they heal us. What happened to COVID? Nobody remember, it ain't making sense. I'm just here to vent. It happened to one of your people, it's different. We get it, the system is wicked, just learn how to pick it. Knowledge is power, I swear I'm a witness. I know that I'm gifted, I won't go too deep, cause I'm scared they'll get me. Ain't scared to admit it. which I can't mention. It's people who can. Well, here's the chance. I won't take the stand, but I'll take a stand for what I believe. Must not be breathing the air that I breathe. You know that the way that I bleed, you can bleed. I never been a fan of police, but my neighborhood know I try to keep peace. So it's only right that I get in the streets. March for a reason, not just on GP. How people die for us to be free. What do you mean? This was a dream. Now we got the power that we need to have. They don't want us with it, and that's why they mad. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. But we gotta start somewhere. Might as well go ahead, start here. We done had a hell of a year. I'ma make it count while I'm here. God is the only man I fear. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. But we gotta start somewhere. Might as well go ahead, start here. We done had a hell of a year. I'ma make it count while I'm here. God is the only man I fear.
You know, Atlanta has been the epicenter and the hotbed really of a lot of change over the years, and especially nowadays. It's interesting to see how Lil Baby taps into the Atlanta right now and brings it to the screen. I mean, that is 2020. That is what it looks like right now in that town, and I think he did a beautiful job of capturing it. I think the lyrics of this thing are just off the charts. He's in Jay-Z territory at this point, Bob Dylan territory at this point. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. That's a whole political theory. That's college. I mean, it's to understand it's not just a racial issue. It's a whole bunch of other issues going on. It takes time to change things. There's a level of wisdom there, and I think it just comes out. This generation has seen so much already. They've gone through so much already. They know it's not a simple thing. It's going to take a long time. But that's different than fight the power. You know, my generation, our anthems were all like, we're going to turn it over today. We're going to make change tomorrow. I think this is a new twist on hip hop politics coming through in the song. You can't have a political movement without political music. It's just never happened. You go back to the labor movement, civil rights movement, women's rights movement. You always have musicians and artists step up because a revolution is a change of heart first before anything else changes. In law and politics and government, in the economy, the first change has to be in the human heart, and that's what art does. Art moves you, music moves you, and I'm just so proud that Lil Baby is using his platform to move this whole country forward and to move this cause forward. All right, my girl Jamel Hill is going to take over for me. She gets the honor. I'm kind of jealous, but she gets the honor of talking to and interviewing the great Killer Mike. He is an author, he's an actor, he's an activist, he's a musician, he's a living legend. Listen to Killer Mike.
I hope everybody out there has just been taking copious notes, gaining a lot of knowledge, taking some screenshots, because there's just been a lot of really good nuggets that have been shared. Hope you're inviting all your friends in and really having the kind of conversation in this country I certainly have not seen in my lifetime. And I'm curious to hear the thoughts of my guest right now, Killer Mike. Mike, we've been at this moment many times in our country where tragedy has struck. About this issue in particular, we've seen these videos before, but right now it feels like the world is just changing right before our very eyes. I can kind of imagine how some of our elders felt during the civil rights movement, to see the world just changing right before our eyes. So you're there in Atlanta, where certainly there was a recent incident with Rashard Brooks. We've been absorbing everything that's been happening in the country up until this moment. So how are you kind of handling all of this emotionally right now?
Man, as an American, it's hard because it's just it's a growing pain of sorts. You know what I mean? We know that our country is progressing. We know that on the other side of that progression, that we all are going to be better. I think our community and people who are essentially descendants of the cornerstone of this nation, and the cornerstone of this nation is the Constitution is important, the Founding Fathers was important, but free labor allowed all that to stand. And as the descendant of a slave, and when I say descendant, I don't mean anything long. My great-grandmother taught me how to sew a button on a shirt as she was sewing blankets that we still use in my house. Her mother was born enslaved. So that's how close slavery is. I know how to sew a button because a slave taught her child to, and that child taught me to. That's how close. So I think that I'm excited that progress is happening, but I know on the other side of that progression, Breonna, Mr. Floyd, brother that was killed here, there are martyrs. And we've long been martyrs for the progression of this country. And I hope that as we enter into another martyrdom, another black person has died at the hands of the state. I hope that we enter this coming out determined to see justice on the front end and not only when we're angry. I hope that coming out of this, the young people that are in the streets organizing, continue to organize in the time of peace like they are in time of war, because they're organizing effectively. They're causing systemic change in the immediate and not some protracted campaign. And I support that. And plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. And as long as you keep doing that, you're going to capitalize off the gains that you're making. And I appreciate, and I don't mean capitalize in a monetary way. I mean, these kids are capitalizing, progressing. Organizers on the ground level who've been working for years to campaign around police brutality and violence have in an instant been able to organize people to progress law.
Yeah, it's been a lot of impressive moments. I mean, you mentioned about how the young people, they're so organized, because I think about the progression from, say, Ferguson to now, and it's been pretty outstanding when you think about it. What has impressed you the most about what you're seeing right now?
What has impressed me? That in '92, we rioted in Atlanta. There were riots in other cities. There were riots in Los Angeles. But there was such a stronghold on information. Local news wouldn't let what other cities know until after it was over. What's impressed me is the ability to use technology. We haven't gotten as efficient as Hong Kong, but it's coming. You are seeing at a day and age where in an instant people are able to mob on a place. People are able to say what needs to be said and go and get ghosts. You're seeing in an instant what our grandparents were able to do. Like we have a house party app in which people can sit down on that house party app. You can organize with those 8 people to know what are we going to do in school, what are we going to do in local school boards, what are we going to do with city council. Our grandparents used to have to do that in the basement. Now you're able to do it over your phones and organize effectively and immediately. So I'm impressed by the level of organization I've seen. Because when I was an organizer at 15, 16 years old, we'd have to literally meet for 30 days to plan something that you might strike that might be 3 hours or even 30 minutes, but you're constantly there. These kids are able to do it, and these young people and these organizers are able to do it in a blink of an eye. But that only happens when you train like Floyd Mayweather. Organizers are like Mayweather. They never not training, and I think that these are the people, again, that we should be looking to follow in these times.
But you dropped a mention of the House Party app. Mike, are you on House Party? You use it?
I just found out about it. I got the cool people in my life helped me to what's new. The 2 apps I'm most interested in right now are House Party, and there's an app called Convos that allows me to speak directly back and forth with people. That's a lot cooler than sometimes Twitter where stuff gets lost in translation. But, I'm still over there tweeting with the angry moms and dads. Shouts out to the old folks.
I think about where activism was on this issue in particular when Ferguson happened, and looking at it now, and while there was definitely a lot of positives that came out of Ferguson, particularly the Black Lives Matter movement, seeing the level and the difference is that clearly there was a lot of lessons learned there, and they've applied them now, and so it definitely seems much more cohesive, and that's been impressive. What has impressed you about what you're seeing, especially from these young people who really have seemed to seize this moment?
What I've seen be most beautiful about this time is kids have the ability to adjust and move and be like water. They're truly plotting, planning, strategizing, organizing, mobilizing. The skateboard kids came in. Usually you would see in the 60s, Black people look like me. We'd make public protests. We'd get our heads split open. Sympathetic whites and allies and people who truly believe in freedom, justice, and equality entered the stage. Now, not only are you beating Black people, you're dragging off white people. And it became a tapestry, a unified front to give us our most basic civil rights and acknowledge our human rights. That tapestry is happening again, and it's happening in a bigger and better way. I was talking about those skateboard kids. I saw those kids first come in as defenders. When police were hacking with people with batons, they held up the skateboards to protect them. Most kids who skateboard, my kids skateboard, most skateboard kids in the South don't look like me, right? But I saw the skateboard community literally come in and save protesters from beatings. And then they got really frisky and they started attacking back. And I was like, this is, although I don't want violence in the streets because those kids deserve to grow to be adults without being soldiers against the state that their parents pay taxes to. It impressed me that the proletariat showed government that you work for us. And in this moment, we are exercising our right to make public display of the evil that has happened. It makes me proud that I live in a country that has long promised equality, rarely given it to people who look like me, people who don't look like me defending.
You made an interesting note and observation about the skateboard crew. And I think anybody who's watching has noticed that it's not just Black people who are out here protesting.
No, it's not. It's a tapestry of people.
It's a tapestry of people,
The
correct?
Amish. The Amish.
Yeah. Wasn't that crazy?
I didn't even know the Amish saw the news.
I was thinking, who told them? Right? I was like, I didn't right?
I was so impressed though. I was so thankful. My heart was filled with joy.
Yeah, so you're seeing all these different types of people that you never thought this issue would resonate with them. It kind of reminds me of your music. Your music is unapologetically pro-Black, unapologetically, right?
Absolutely,
but yet, when you look at a Killer Mike fan, it's across multicultural section of people.
Yes.
Why do you think your music is able to resonate that way, despite the fact that you are also clearly talking to your people?
Yeah, I'm proud to be me. I like me. I like Black people. I'm not making no excuses. I'm not making no apologies coming in the door. I love us. I am in love with us. And because I love me, it has nothing to do or affecting my love of others. I have a very good friendship with East Indian cousins, Raj and Neil. They own the store right next to Walters on what's happening. So if you're from Atlanta, you know about Walters. If you're a big guy from Atlanta, you know about, the store right next door. These guys have always just been good to me. Raj went to India. He came back, brought my wife incense, these beautiful little elephant characters. He's proud to be Indian. I've learned about being Indian from my Indian friends. When you're truly who you are, how could you be offended? How could you not love it or like it? Like, man, I'm a part of the original people on earth. I'm from the continent that birthed all humanity. I think when you wear that proudly and unapologetically and not from a place of needing someone to be below you, there's no reason for a people not to like me. I like you. I got plenty of heroes that don't look like me. There's a portrait of John Brown on my wall in my basement. I thought he's a hero. He doesn't have to look like me. You know what I mean? But I refuse to act like people who look like me aren't great. I didn't say good. I didn't say good enough. I didn't say equal. I said great. I'm from a great and mighty people. And if you can't accept that, then maybe I'm not for you. But I believe that because I am simply who I am, I believe that gets accepted. Because you know what? I remember being on a tour bus, and I'm on there with a bunch of Northeasterners because of course, my rap partner's a white guy from Brooklyn. And we're on there and watching Swamp People, and everybody's laughing. And I come up and stagger into the front, and I look at it, and I start smiling, and I look at the room and say, I got more in common with them than any of y'all. And I just walk to the back. Now, because it's the truth. I'm a Southern boy. My grandparents from Alabama and rural Georgia. I grew up more like people on those shows. So I think across cultural lines and across racial lines, people identify with me, but just because I'm your typical American guy. You know what I mean? And I have some special things. I'm not going to deny that I'm special. I was a smart kid, went to Morehouse, had an understanding of some cool stuff. I married a beautiful woman. That helps, But I think that ultimately what resonates with people is that I'm a regular guy. One of my best friends in the world is a white guy from Brooklyn. So I think that people understand that I have the ability not to look past your race or ethnicity, not to look past who you are culturally, but to look at it and love it and learn from it without wanting to co-opt it or be it.
What you're talking about in a very succinct and robust way is really allyship. And that's been a word that, you have it sounds like you have a lot of really great allies that are in your life. Now in this moment, I've gotten the question constantly, I assume you have too, about how to be an ally. What do I have to do? Right? I've had so many conversations with white people, like really good friends of mine in the last 2 weeks where all right, guys, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but
Yeah, but hold on.
hold on a second. Relax. But
Absolutely.
with that, nevertheless, that being said, is that what would you say to somebody who wants to not only be an ally but be a good ally?
If you want to be a good ally in this moment, white corporation, white person with the means, that's a worthy allyship. On a ground level, if you're just working hard every week, you don't know what to do, you're an electrician, you're a plumber, grab one young man who doesn't look like you, a young woman, and teach them that trade. That's allyship. Allyship isn't just throwing the money, but if you got the big money, put it towards somewhere. But on a very real and basic level, my son had an accident with a man named Keith. I bought my son a car. My son Malik, with a very pretty girl in the front seat, rear-ended this guy Keith. Calls me. I pull up to Keith and the police officer. I say, if he'll allow me to handle this privately, I just don't want to call my insurance company because, I had just got in an accident. I drive fast. My son, Keith, in good faith, gave me the opportunity to do that. And me and this man became friends. I'm literally friends with this white man who told me about Atlanta pre-white flight and desegregation, who's taught me about fatherhood and the importance of presence in your child's life. That doesn't happen if we're not open for it to happen. So an allyship with white people doesn't have to be an organization of saving the world. But you do have to do what me and Keith did. You do have to, on blind faith, trust someone who doesn't look like you and allow that person to educate you. So an allyship is not just calling your black friend saying what I do. It's going to black organizations that might be local and saying, what am I do? It's calling your friend and saying, what's the next thing you're doing? And I want to be an extra set of hands. Doesn't mean you get to go to the black people meeting, but it does mean that they say, I'm going to feed people on Skid Row. You show up, and you show up with empathy and care, and you do it. And I'm going to tell you, we need doctors in that space. We need lawyers in that space. We need legislators in that space. We need the people who are really empowered to be in that space, because there's some things that need to happen on ground level that once the grassroots people have gotten it here, there needs to be money put behind these things. A lot of the problems that we have now that are erupting could have been solved in 96, 2006, 2016, and all these other years, but we chose not to because we trusted the right thing's going to happen. Right thing's not going to happen unless we make it. And after that, you have the potential to truly be brothers and sisters. You have the potential to be past the letting cultural, national, religious markers evict the fact that I know that I'm talking and I'm with a human being, and at our very core, past any physical difference, my job is to honor the soul of that other human being. So there's no need to have allies because I'm not at war. I truly have a brother and sister. There's no need to have an ally because there's no threat of war. I refuse to send any 18-year-old boy or girl off to die. And that has to be something that's much, much deeper than policy, much, much deeper than the human condition in the last 500 years. We have to get back to that. So that's my humble opinion. I don't know, where that takes white America, but I hope we stay standing up, fighting together.
Mike, we've been having this great conversation, and a lot of people watching, they probably want to know, because again, these things happen in flashes where 1 minute we're talking about this, everybody's fired up, everybody's willing to do things, and then the next minute, the momentum dies. So how can the people who are watching now, how can they keep this conversation, this action, this momentum going?
Take this conversation, get 8 to 10 people around you, your neighbors and people who live within 10 square miles, and start to see what you can do to affect. And then connect with other people that may be in closer proximity, 30, 40, 50 miles, even another city or places that are doing it right, in other places. Connect with those people and just if all of us do a little bit, no one has to do a lot. If all of us do a little, if all of us pick a little to do, no one will have to do a lot.
That's a word right there. If we all do a little bit, nobody has to do a lot.
Has to do a lot, absolutely.
Nobody has to do a lot. Mike, I have enjoyed this conversation like I enjoy every conversation with you. I can certainly talk to you. Yes, it is mutual. The mutual respect and love of society right here. Thank you. And more importantly, thank you for everything you do on the ground. I mean, so many people, I knew that you tell the truth the way it needs to be told, but a lot of people during this time of crisis have been exposed to you and understand that, you really are for the people. This is called We the People. This is you all day long. So thank you for all the work and all the inspiration, all the words, everything that you're adding to this conversation, and more importantly, to this action. With that said, we have to say goodbye, but We don't have to get out of here just yet because I'm gonna I'm gonna toss this on to my brother
Okay.
Van Jules, who can take it from here.
Jamel and I, we spent the past hour, we've been talking to Killer Mike, we've been talking to Elaine Welteraw. We also got a chance to see that amazing video from Lil Baby. Jamel, what did you get from your conversation with Killer Mike? And more importantly to me, what do you make of this moment that we're in?
The one thing you can always expect from Killer Mike is blunt honesty. I think that's why a lot of people look at him as a really credible voice right now. He's honest about what he knows and honest about what he doesn't know. So I think when you have those elements, that's going to always make for a pretty good conversation. I'm with you. I mean, this moment at the same time is welcome. It's also a little bit surreal in terms of what took us so long to get here to make sure that we're not always starting from ground zero every time we have to have a significant conversation about race in this country.
Why do you think it's different this time? Because, I mean, there have been videos before, and yet people still now act like they're shocked. Help me understand what's different this time from your point of view. What's your theory?
It's two things that I think stood out about the George Floyd video. One, there was no yeah, but. And granted, in my mind, we've seen videos where there was no yeah, but people nevertheless invented a yeah, but. But in this one, there really wasn't one, even if you were Stretch Armstrong trying to stretch and find one, there just wasn't one. What always has just stuck with me is the look on this officer's face as he was kneeling on George Floyd's neck. It was so cold. It was as if this were Thursday. And he showed such a little emotion, remorse, any emotion you want to name. He didn't show any of that as he killed a man in the middle of the street with bystanders looking on. So I think that situation, coupled with the fact we had already been reeling from Ahmaud Arbery, we had already been reeling from Breonna Taylor. And even though the situation wasn't fatal, there was definitely a storm of frustration at what happened with Christian Cooper. So this all together leads us to this moment where finally, even the most adamant naysayers who wanted to pretend as if this wasn't a structural problem, what could they say? I mean, there was nothing else that could be said. And I think everybody who was already fed up decided now is the moment, now is the time. The world has slowed down because of COVID-19. If we are going to address this, this needs to happen now.
I've never seen 20, 30 million white people asking black people for leadership. That's interesting because they start, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, well, I don't know. Google is a powerful tool. I don't know. I'm realizing now, though, that this is an honest question. How do you think that we as African Americans and our allies can rise to meet a moment like this and actually accept the fact that we may actually have a couple million new allies? And how do we deal with that? That's new for us.
I'm glad you used the word leadership because there's a difference between us being put in a leadership position and us being put in an educational position. The educational part, we are long past, right? Like we don't want to be educating anybody else about race. We're not here to soothe you. We're not here to make you feel better. But leadership is something different. And it looks different depending on how you want us to take that leadership. Certainly, we are accustomed to being a voice on these issues. We're accustomed to setting the agenda. It's fine if we continue to lead in that direction. I think what we're looking for is if this were, a relay race, we want to pass the baton and we want you to be able to say, okay, here's what we've been feeling about this issue. Here's what needs to happen to change it. The other part of this race is that you got to be willing to run it just as hard and as fast as we are. Because if you're not, that's why we remain stuck in the flying pattern that we've been in for hundreds of years and decades as we've tried to reconcile this issue. So we have to figure out what is the most useful way of allyship. We see a lot of people throwing statements around. We see a lot of people throwing money around. We need that to be a focused effort, and more importantly, to be vocal about it. I can't take any more double-sidedness. There can be no more other-siderisms, if I may make up a word, meaning that you give over here and you're a company that is like, yeah, Black Lives Matter, except for in my boardroom where they don't, or except for in my organizational chart where they don't. So I'm done with that, right? That's great. Charity's great. Charity doesn't change structural racism, right? What changes it is when you actively look in your building and ask, why aren't there more Black people in this building, in this boardroom, in this C-suite? So the allies that we have, what you can do, change the structure and cultures of your companies, of your businesses, of wherever it is you have influence. Start there.
The thing I try to tell people is, it puts us in a no-win situation. I want our white sisters and brothers to be better educated and to care more, but I don't want to have to bear the burden of trying to teach and educate all the time. The reason you pay tuition is because it's costly to educate someone. You coming up to me and saying, educate me, that's costly to me emotionally and from a time point of view. Also, I think we have to be very honest. Nobody would go up to somebody and say, teach me Russian in 5 minutes. And by the way, make me feel good about it. Like, I mean, you wait, hold on a second. Like, you want me to teach you about racism, which is the history of race in America is just as complicated as Russian. And you want me to teach you that in 5 minutes. And also, if I make you feel bad about it in any way, now I got to be your therapist too. And like you said, soothe you or whatever. That's got to stop. I would love for somebody to come to me and say, I made my whole family watch the 13th and read the new Jim Crow and read White Fragility. And we had a question on page 52. Now, hey, we can have that conversation all day long because you're doing your homework, but don't flop on me like you never heard of Google. If you wanted to know about cryptocurrencies or whatever, you find that stuff out before any Black person ever heard of it. So I'm sure you can educate yourself about anything you want to know. I have to say something to you because I've never gotten a chance to talk to you. I feel like I know you because I'm such a big, mad, crazy Stan and fan. But I love you to death. I just am so proud of you. I'm saying proud of you almost as Patrick. I am so proud that you exist. Where do you find the strength to continue to do what you're doing and say what you're saying, even in the face of opposition, to the point where now the whole world has to listen to you? Where did you find the strength when they weren't listening?
I guess maybe this is just part of the Black woman's condition, is that we don't know any other way. And most of us, I come from a line of Black women who were just like this. My mother's like this. My grandmother was like this, where it's the old phrase we've all used as Black people, making a way out of no way. And scream until they hear you. You know what I'm saying? Is that because the opposite, to do the opposite of that is what? Is that I can't even afford to do that. I don't know any other mode but to fight for what's right, but to try to stand on the right side of history, but to speak for people who don't have a voice or a platform as large as mine, because somebody did it for me.
What advice do you have for people who want to have these conversations, maybe not as well spoken, not as well read as you might be, but who really are sincere and want to have a conversation?
I think you have to start from a point of honesty and being real about what some of your beliefs, prejudice, biases are, where they come from, why you learned them. I think if you take anything else beyond race, as we get older, we do a whole lot of unlearning. Young folks, when you get to like your 30s, you do a whole lot of that, right? But yeah, my advice is to always start from the point of truth and honesty and self awareness. And you'd be surprised what you can get accomplished just by digging into those things. I mean, if you know you come from a racist background, or if you come from where race was talking about a certain way, be honest about what those conversations were and what they taught you. And ask yourself, is this the kind of person that you really want to be?
Yeah, I feel like there's a 21st century mindset and a 21st century skill set that, everybody's going to need a mindset of empathy. I mean, we're going to be dealing with, people, every color, flavor, every kind of human being ever born. We all have to deal with each other now. Because of the internet, because of just the world economy. You're going to be competing against people in China and Nigeria. That's just the world. So you have to have a mindset of empathy to really try to understand where people are coming from. You have to have a skill set of listening. If you understand this conversation, you can talk to Black folk and brown folk and Muslims, everybody else. So we're trying to confer a benefit to you. We're trying to make you better. It'll make my life better, but it'll make your life better too. Now, what charity are you supporting?
Well, as some people can maybe see my T-shirt, it says "Support Black Journalists." Right? The lack of still Black journalists in most newsrooms is pretty appalling. What changed my life and what got me really on the right path in this business was being a member of the National Association of Black Journalists. NABJ is the largest minority journalism organization in the country. the development, the networking, job fair, internships, scholarships, what happens there has changed lives. You know, it changed a lot of people's careers. I mean, people like you, Van, and everybody you want to think of, Roland Martin, Soledad O'Brien. It's just a number of people, Michael Wilbon, that are a part of this organization and have been able to build legacies there. And so it's on us to, again, usher in this next generation of young journalists who, I get it right now, feeling really discouraged when they look at not just what a lot of newsrooms look like, a lot of networks look like, but also we're under the under the shadow of a pandemic right now. So there's a lot of journalists who have lost their jobs. A lot of companies are downsizing. They need a reason to believe and to be in this business. And so NABJ has done so much for my career and continues to do that for others. So that's the charity that I support and the organization that has changed my life and that of many others.
Well, listen, I second that, third that, and fourth that. NABJ is a beautiful organization. I've got groups I want to support as well. But what I want to say to you is just thank you for your light, for your leadership, for your courage, for your entrepreneurship, for your T-shirts and all that type of stuff. Make sure to support the sister businesses, and let's keep this conversation going. Much love to you.
Thank you, Van. This is a pleasure.
I got good news for you. I got bad news for you. The good news is that people are activating all around the world, all across the planet for change. That is a powerful moment. Here's the bad news. Unfortunately, this is not a one answer fixes everything situation. We're talking about systemic problems, which means it's not just one law or one person. You need 360 degrees of change to shift to get the outcome that's right. But we can get there if we keep talking, if we keep working, if we keep building. And if we do that, we can reshape America. That can be done. It's been done in the past. We can move the whole world in a better direction. So I hope that your cell phone right now is full of screenshots of these tools that we've been trying to give you to continue taking action from this virtual town hall. When the stream ends, the conversation should not end. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep going. We are in an important moment in history. And what you do is going to determine the outcome. 2020 is going to be talked about for 20 years, 100 years, maybe 1,000 years. But the future's not written. It's up to what you and I do and what you and I decide is going to happen. So I want to give a special thanks to the powerful voices that we've had: Elaine Welteroth, Killer Mike, Jamel Hill. Make sure you visit 50percentpledge.org to learn more about the power of money. Also visit my organization, reformalliance.com. We're trying to make a change. Let's be about it, not just talk about it. I'm Van Jones.